Tiger or Jeff, whatever, anything
So
with you about that?
my question is,
Yeah.
when will you unmute me? Because I don't want to. If I'm talking, I don't want to.
Yeah, so we normally like wait until when they throw down, like when they throw down the second, then we normally just unmute you, and that way, like there's still a little air time that you can talk before like the batter comes up.
Yeah,
Is
okay.
that right for you?
Yeah, I just don't. I don't want to. I was just curious about that. I don't want to be like talking to myself and
Oh,
you
yeah.
randomly go on the air and I'm
No
just like,
problem. And the other thing too, if you want to just like knock on the window, or we'll look over at you and let you know either way. And
Cool.
Yeah, if you have anything, so like I said, that's good to go whenever you're good. And yeah, we can mute you, or if you just want to take it off and move it to the side, like when it was Jeff and Corey, so they would talk in between the innings. If you just want to move it over there or something, it doesn't really pick up. It picks up enough out here.
Okay.
So you can either just move it up there and you get some of the game sounds.
Okay.
But if you want, I'll mute you too. And
That's fine. Muting is fine.
perfect. Like I said, you need anything.
Is that functioning? Like, will that work?
Yeah, I think it was because Jeff, I heard him saying that one was 83, that one was 81. So if you want to double check that, because I'm not sure where it would be outside, probably here on the sides.
I really can't see the scoreboards
So
from here
yeah,
anyway.
I would just check this because I think they were picking up speeds.
Okay.
Yeah, man. But if you think of anything else, we're right here. So
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Appreciate it,
Thank
man.
you.
Got it.
Is there a way to make this longer?
Oh, you're looking for it. I got it.
Oh, is it Tangled?
Yeah, I think that's why. I don't even know what else. And then, so that's about as far as for you, but that's fine. Yeah, man.
Perfect. Thank you very
You
much.
got it, buddy. No problem.
Howdy, folks. Harrison Swartz here for Game 2 of the 2017 Mid-Atlantic Regional Tournament in York, Pennsylvania. Game 2 today is Lesley University against number 4 Johns Hopkins University. Lesley, the 8th seed in the tournament. Johns Hopkins, the number 1 seed. Lesley on the year 21-17-1. Hopkins 36-6, riding a Division III best 19-game win streak. Alex Ross is on the mound for Hopkins today here in Game 2, making his 12th start of the year. We'll get you the Lesley lineup here. Vincent Taller-Shio will lead things off and take one outside for ball 1. We are underway at 2:32. This game was supposed to start at 1:15, but Game 1 between RIT and Alvernia ran pretty long. This one hit out to right field. Brian Lynn going back. Maybe misplayed that one, and it's over his head and in between him and Tommy Mee. It'll roll to the wall. Mee gets it back in quickly, and it's leadoff double for Lesley. Taller-Shio picks up his 10th two-bagger of the year. Nice start for Lesley. Rest of the lineup real quick for the Lynx. Stephen DePalma will stand in now. He's followed by Ryan Pomfret and Matthew Warner, J.P. Ajagusis, Jacob Cervantes, Mike Slaby, Nicholas Faragine, and Ellis Intriago. So Alex Ross, the southpaw, will work out of the stretch now. From the third base side of the rubber, he comes home. There's a fastball up and away at 87. 1 ball and no strikes. We said Alex making his 12th start of the year. He's thrown 61 innings on the year, given up 47 hits, 28 runs, and 22 of those 28 have been earned. 1-0. This one hit to center field. Tommy Mee is there. Gliding back, he makes the grab. Tagging up, heading to third base is Tyler Shio. He'll get there standing, and the Lynx have a man at third base with 1 away in the first inning. Now Ryan Pomfret will stand in the DH today. Alex, a 3.25 ERA this year. Opponents hitting just .211 against the junior. It's his first season as a starter. He spent last season for the Blue Jays as their closer, picking up 4 saves. Now he's their ace. Fastball low and inside, 1-0 to Pomfret. The DH this year hit .308. Led the team with 40 hits, but also led the team with 35 strikeouts. Swing and a miss. Fastball low and got a chase. 1-1. Alex Ross has a wicked slider, a fastball that can touch 90. 1-1, just a bit low. By the way, umpires for today's ball game: behind the plate, Mr. Jason McDermott. At first base, Mr. Bill Rush. At second base, Mr. Jeff Arthur. And at third, Mr. Ron Black. Swing and a miss. Late on that fastball, and the count evens up 2 balls and 2 strikes. We'll get you the Blue Jay defense behind Alex Ross momentarily. From the windup, the 2-2. Breaking ball way outside. Catching today, Ryan Orgalevich, a senior. In the outfield, a trio of seniors for the Blue Jays: John Hayden in left, Tommy Mee in center field, and Brian Lynn out in right. Pitch swung on and bounced foul. Over top of Lesley, head coach Billy Cather down at third base. Across from him, first base coach Michael Zeiner. 3-2 the count, 1 away, runner at third base. Ross again from the windup comes home. And it'll be in the dirt. A 1-out walk, and there are men on the corners for Lesley now. 22nd walk issued this year by Alex Ross. Now, he does have some solid stuff. Picked up 78 strikeouts, which was good for the most in the Centennial Conference. A 3-2 record on the year. Now he faces the cleanup man, Matthew Warner. Getting the start at first base today. First pitch. Low and inside, 1-0. Hopkins was here back in 2015 in the Mid-Atlantic Regional. Won the MAC Conference, and the York Revolution hosted it here in York. The only pitcher on the regional roster for Hopkins that has experience pitching on this field is junior lefty Nick Burns. He made a start here against Misericordia back in 2015. Alex was not on that regional roster. That season, Hopkins was eliminated by Alvernia in the semis. Ross in a 1-0 count to Matthew Warner. Low and inside here, 2-0. Now, throughout the year, Alex has had command issues with his fastball. And he's fallen behind in counts and haven't been able to use that slider of his to get batters out. The 2-0 bounce left side, a run should score. Double play ball possibly, and that gets away from Eberly on the throw from Connor Reynolds into shallow right field. And Lesley takes a 1-0 lead here in the first. Only some sloppy defense from the Blue Jays here early on. The miscue by Brian Lynn in the first batter from Vincent Talashio, who just scored. And now, on a possible double play ball, the flip from Reynolds to Eberly gets in the shallow right. So again, Talashio scores. Pomfret goes from first to third base, and Warner's on at first. First pitch here, bounce left side and foul off the bat of J.P. Angegusis, the center fielder, in an 0-1 count. Angegusis hitting .328 on the year. Led the team with 10 doubles, now tied for the team lead with Tyler Shio, who picked up his 10th to start the ball game. 0-1, big breaking ball swung on and missed. That one came in at 71. Alex has made one appearance before in a regional tournament. He came last year out in Washington, Pennsylvania, the Mid-East Regional. Called strike 3 there. Alex Ross picks up his first strikeout of the tournament, and Adjagusis goes down swinging, strikes out for the 24th time this year, I should say. 2 gone in the first. One nothing Lynx. In steps Jacob Cervantes, the catcher. Cervantes, a sophomore from Oxnard, California, graduate of Ventura High School. Takes a first pitch fastball upstairs, 1-0. 3 men have reached in the inning for the Lynx. Tyler Shio the double, Pomfret the walk. He's at third base. Warner is on first. Ground ball right side. Eberle down to one knee. Fields flips to Reynolds at second base, and the inning comes to an end. But the Lynx pick up 1. Tyler Shio doubles, comes in to score on the Hopkins error. At the end of a half inning, it's 1-0 Lynx here in York, PA. Bottom first here in York. Harrison Swartz with you at Peoples Bank Park. Tom Muratori will get the start today for the Lynx. He is 7-3 on the year with a 3.76 ERA. He's making his 14th appearance on the mound and 12th start. Just under 65 innings of work this year for the junior from Mamaroneck, New York. Quickly the lineup for Johns Hopkins 1 through 9. Connor Reynolds, Brian Lynn, Mike Smith, Ryan Orgalevich, Alex Darwich, John Hayden, Tommy Mee, Joe Conlon, and Mike Eberle. Muratori, 62 hits allowed this year, 33 runs, 27 earned. Like we said, he is 7-3. Leads the team in wins. First pitch to Reynolds, hit high and deep to left field. That ball way back, and it's off the top of the arch nemesis. Reynolds racing towards second base. The throw is cut off, and it's a leadoff double for the Blue Jays senior shortstop. Picks up his 15th two-bagger this year. Jumps on a first pitch fastball for Muratori. He gives up his 14th double on the year. Well, you have a 33 high foot wall, 33 feet high, just a little bit higher than the Green Monster at Fenway Park. And Connor Reynolds about a foot or two height-wise, hitting a home run. Now Brian Lynn will stand in. Blue Jays looking to respond to that Lynx run from the top of the first. And hits the outside corner for a strike, 0-1. Muratori stands at 5'11", 175. Quickly into the stretch, just like his counterpart, Alex Ross was. Each of them giving up a double to the opposition leadoff man. Another called strike, quickly 0-2 on Brian. Lynn, a second-teamer in the Centennial Conference this year. He hit .333. Recorded 55 hits in his senior campaign, and he goes down swinging on 3 pitches. Muratori gave him a couple of fastballs on the outside corner that he watched go by, and brought one in that Lynn chased. One away, Muratori picks up his 45th strikeout. Now Mike Smith will stand in, the junior third baseman. Spinning a turn back to second base, and Connor Reynolds is picked off by Muratori. He caught the senior sleeping. Well, Reynolds was picked off in the Centennial Conference tournament, now picked off here in the Mid-Atlantic Regional, and that erases the leadoff double. Now the bases are clear, and there's two away. Pitch to Mike, line drive right field, that's a base hit. Now if you're Hopkins, you have to think what the score could be right here if Reynolds doesn't get picked off. Might have ourselves a tie ball game. Instead, a two-out base knock the opposite way for Smith. Picks up his 54th hit this year. Ryan Orgalevich will stand in, also a native of Mamaroneck, New York. Facing a former high school teammate of his right here. Ryan a senior, Muratori a junior. First pitch to Ryan. A called strike on the outside corner. 0-1. Lesley leads 1-0 in the bottom of the first. First ever match between these two teams. Move to first base, and back standing is Smith. This is Lesley's first ever trip to an NCAA regional tournament. It's only the 7th year of their baseball team, though. Program started back in 2010. Curveball inside to Ryan. 1-1. Ryan hit .388 on the year, led the Blue Jays. First team All-Centennial Conference catcher. Pitch coming home, ground ball towards the middle. But Ferragine is there, flips to second base to get Smith, and the inning comes to an end. A promising start for the Blue Jays, a race with a pickoff from Muratori. Gets the senior Connor Reynolds at second base. Couple of hits in the inning, one left on. We're through one inning. Lynx lead 1-0.
I did receive a non-athletic scholarship upon entering school.
I got the presidential scholarship, which was huge for me.
I think there's more opportunities for academic scholarships in Division III.
I did receive academic scholarships. Just being involved on campus, being a leader, all those things combined kind of get me recognized. It's a great experience for me.
Top two here in York. Harrison Swartz with you. Glad you could join us today for Game 2. Lesley and Johns Hopkins. The top seed against the 8th seed. And right now it's the 8th seed, Lesley, on top 1-0. Mike Slaby, Nicholas Ferragine, and Ellis Intriago. 7, 8, and 9 for the Lynx. Against Alex Ross. Alex gave up a double, walked a batter, and struck out one in the first. Pitch to Slaby, in for strike one. Now Slaby, he's the reason why the Lynx are here. A walk-off grand slam in the New England Collegiate Conference Championship game over Mitchell College. Just his second career home run got the Lynx to York. 1-1. Swung on and missed. Nice breaking ball. A curveball at 71 from Alex Ross. That speed difference from his fastball to his curveball is ridiculous. It's a slider. That'll bounce in. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And Slaby hit .295 this year, 38 hits. Getting the start at third base today. 2-2. Way up and away, nowhere near the strike zone. Count runs full. Slaby, a senior, native of Foxborough, Massachusetts. Payoff pitch. At the knees, called strike 3, and Slaby knew it. Second strikeout for Alex Ross. He has 80 on the year. And both have come via the looking variety. 1 gone. Nicholas Faragine will stand in now. Faragine, a .262 mark at the plate this year. Takes a fastball low and in. 1-0. Hopkins, third baseman Mike Smith, even with the bag at third. Rest of the infield straight up. This one fouled into the seats on the right side. And the count goes to 1 ball and 1 strike. Faragine hitless over his last 3 ball games. Those last 3 games, though, were in the conference tournament for him. Low. Count goes to 2-1. He went 0 for 9 in the New England Collegiate Conference tournament. This one low, 3-1. He did drive in a run, though, during the conference tournament. He had a 4-game hit streak prior to the tourney. Gets on base here, though, with a 5-pitch walk. Second free pass issued by Alex today. Faragine picks up his 15th walk of the year. Last time out for Alex Ross was in the Centennial Conference tournament against Gettysburg. He got the start that day and went just 4 2/3 on the mound. That day he tied his season high in earned runs allowed with 4. Bunt shown here, and he pulls back as a called strike to Ellis Intriago. 0-1. In that ball game, Alex struck out 4 and also walked a season high 4. He said already 2 free passes today. Bunt shown again. He can't put the bat on the ball. Another called strike by Jason McDermott. 0-2. Intriago making just his 7th start all year. He's just 2 for 11 at the plate. Double play depth for Hopkins. Alex Ross squared towards first, now comes home. Breaking ball just outside. Good take by Intriago. Top of the order on deck for Lesley. Lesley this year 8-2 at neutral site ball games. Curveball there, called strike 3. Beautiful pitch from Alex Ross. Paints the outer edge, picks up his 2nd strikeout of the inning and 3rd of the ball game. And the 3 strikeout victims, Adjagusis, Slaby, and Intriago, watch that strike 3 go right by. Back to the top of the order, and Talarcio takes a breaking ball up and away, 1-0. Lesley on top, 1-0 in the 2nd. Game 2 of 4 today. Alvernia came out victorious in Game 1 over RIT, winning 8-4. Fastball gets in front of Ryan. He blocks it, couldn't find it. Alex Ross comes in to get it, slips on the grass. Picks it up down to second base easily is Faragine. And for the 2nd straight inning, the Lynx have a man in scoring position. Talarcio doubled and scored in his lone at bat. Found a spot in the gap in between Tommy Mee in center and Brian Lynn in right. Now right now, Tommy Mee, the Blue Jay center fielder, shaded towards right center just a bit. He's late on this one, fouls it into the seats. 2-1. Talarcio, a sophomore, matching his freshman season game total today. 31st appearance for him this year. Pitch coming home, curveball swung on and missed. Count even up 2 balls and 2 strikes. Runner on at second base for the Lynx. It'll be Nicholas Faragine. From the stretch, Ross kicks and comes home. 2-2 curveball swung on and fouled to the backstop. Well, if it comes up empty on that one, he probably gets to first base easily. So a break for Hopkins. It'll be the DH Alex Darwich leading off for the Blue Jays in the bottom half of the second inning. Big gap in left center field here. Here's the pitch. Foul tipped again. Tyler Shio battling Ross here at the plate. Tyler Shio recorded a hit in all 3 NECC playoff games, went 4 for 14 in those 3 ball games, so 5 hits total in 4 postseason games this year. Again, the pitch from Ross, breaking ball up and away. And the count runs full, 3-2. Tyler Shio combined 5 for 15 in the postseason. He's also scored 4 runs, including today's. A look back to second. Now Ross comes home, grounded left side. Reynolds fields it on to first. Inning over. So Alex Ross picks up a couple of strikeouts, a 1-out walk. Tyler Shio grounds out. We're through 1.5. Lesley leads 1-0. Back here in York, Lesley on top, 1-0. Harrison Swartz with you. Alex Darwich will get things started for the Blue Jays in their half of the second. After him, it'll be John Hayden and Tommy Mee. Hopkins had a couple of hits in the first, could not score. First pitch to Alex Darwich, low and away from Muratori. 1-0. Darwich hits one high and foul on the left side. Well out of the stadium. Count 1-1. Alex Darwich making his 3rd regional roster. 4 for 9 lifetime in the NCAA regionals. This one little blooper to center field. And that's going to fall in for a leadoff hit. Right in front of Agusis. Excuse me. And Alex Darwich picks up his 26th hit of the year. I'll tell you what, I don't think I've ever run into a team like Lesley with so many long and difficult to pronounce last names. We'll get it down pat, though, by the 9th today for sure. John Hayden will stand in now. Hit .266 this year. Getting his first career start in a regional tournament. Darwich off at first base, being held on. First pitch to Hayden. Well inside here, 1-0. John Hayden on his 2nd regional roster. Did not play last year in the Mideast Regional out in Washington, Pennsylvania. Grounded right side here, could be 2. Tyler Shio to 2nd. Relay to first in time. 4-6-3 double play. And leadoff single erased. 2 gone. 20th time this year the Blue Jays have hit into a double play, and the 28th time Lesley has turned one. So Tommy Mee will stand in now with nobody on base. First pitch of the senior captain. A called strike, 0-1. Tommy hit .352 this year. Missed some time from the middle of March till early April when the Centennial Conference started up conference play. This one grounded foul just outside the bag at third, right in front of Blue Jay head coach Bob Babb in his 38th year at the helm of this Blue Jay ball club. Across from him, first base coach Gabby Castellano in his 12th season as an assistant coach. Lesley on top 1-0 here in the bottom of the second. Pitch to Tommy, grounded to the shortstop. Faragine has it, on to first. Inning over. Leadoff single for Alex Darwich, the double play from Hayden, and the ground out from Tommy Mee. Muratori has not allowed a run through two, and right now his team on top of the number 2 team in the country, 1-0. We head to the third inning in York. That's your score, 1-0 Lesley.
Division III allows you to give yourself to other things.
Having that free time allows me to pursue the things that I want to pursue.
Division III in athletics affords students the opportunity to, engage in the other interests in their campus and in their lives outside of that sport.
It allows you to just be able to do everything you want to do. I wouldn't change it for the world.
Top of the third here in New York. Harrison Swartz with you. 1-0 Lesley. It's going to be Stephen DePalma leading things off for the Lynx, followed by Ryan Pomfret and Matthew Warner. Alex Ross has allowed 1 hit through 2 innings and has struck out 3. This one little pop-up right side of the mound. Alex Ross called off by Joe Conlon. And the Blue Jay first base makes the grab. 1 pitch, 1 down. DePalma is 0 for 2. Ryan Pomfret, the DH, he walked back in the first, will stand in. Walked on 5 pitches against the lefty. First pitch from Ross, a fastball there for strike 1 at 87. We mentioned earlier, Alex has touched 90 a few times this year. Topping out about 87 today, though, and this slider comes in and hits him. It hits Pomfret in the ankle. Not sure if it was the lead one or the back ankle, but hit him down there, and he's on first the hard way. So today he has walked, now hit by a pitch. Matthew Warner, the cleanup batter, will stand in. Reached on a fielder's choice back in the first. Ended up being a throwing error by Connor Reynolds. First pitch to him, fastball low and inside, 1-0. Well, Warner picked up 25 hits this season. Hit just a hair under 300. 298 mark for him. The 1-0. Right there for a strike. Back-to-back heaters from Alex Ross. Now, Warner began his conference tournament 0 for 8 at the plate, going hitless in his first 2 games. Slow ground ball to Reynolds. To Eberle for 1. Relay, not in time, skips away from Joe Conlon, and it may have hit off Matthew Warner. That throw, an errant throw from Eberle. Lucky it hit Warner, because if it gets past him, it goes all the way towards the Lynx dugout, and maybe Warner takes second base. So the Jays get the lead man, 6-4 there. but for the second time today have failed to turn two when the opportunity has presented itself. That'll be a fielder's choice. Adjagussis stands in now. He struck out looking on 3 pitches back in the first inning. Makes one upstairs here, 1-0. Lynx remain on top 1-0. Here's a pickoff move to first base, and back easily is Warner. Lots of ball games going on today. Day 1 of 8 different Division III regional baseball tournaments. Swing and a miss, that time late on the Alex Ross fastball. 1-1. Down in Danville, Virginia, quite the upset. 6-seeded Roanoke upset the top seed Salisbury 15-5. Pickoff move here nearly gets away from Conlon, but the first baseman comes off the bag to get it, maybe tripping over Warner in the process. One ball, one strike count. Ross comes home. Curveball up and away. Up in the New England Regional, Babson defeated Sal Virginia 14-3. Now in the Mid-East Regional, Washington and Jefferson, getting to play at their home ballpark, defeated Misericordia 12-7. That'll miss low, 3-1. Surprised not to see Misericordia here in the Mid-Atlantic Regional. Last year they hosted it. In 2015 they were here in York. Pitch coming home, up and away. 5-pitch walk to Adjagussis. Alex Ross has walked 1 batter in each inning today. Now just 1 shy of his season high in walks for a ball game. Jacob Cervantes will stand in now. 2 on, 2 away in the third. Up in Syracuse, Oswego defeated Ithaca 11-10. When I last looked at that before the ball game started, Ithaca was on top 10-7. That would have been an upset. Fastball there for strike 1. And we also had UW La Crosse defeat Saint Scholastica 11-2. Lots of other games in process right now. Throw from Ross, a curveball up and away. 1-1. Cervantes hit into a fielder's choice back in the first, ended the inning. Blue Jays got the lead man, Matthew Warner, at second base. Fastball here at the knees, strike 2. Ross ahead, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Cervantes, a second-team catcher in the NECC. 1-2. Curveball just a bit outside. Ross and the Blue Jays thought they had strike 3 there. And Jason McDermott did not pull the trigger. Now a 2-ball, 2-strike count. Warner at second, Adjagussis at first. Long look back to the bag at second. Now Ross comes home. Pop up, foul territory, right side. Conlon on the run. That one's going to land about 4 or 5 rows deep in the stands. So new life for Cervantes. He's regarded as one of the top catchers in the conference this year. Cervantes led the conference in throwing out runners, gunning down 3 would-be base stealers against conference foes. 2-2 again, way outside here. And the count runs full, 3-2. Ross does not want to lose this batter. Right now it looks like there's somebody tossing in the Blue Jay pen. Payoff pitch coming. Fouled back to the screen. I think out at second base, Matthew Warner forgot the count because he did not take off, but Adjagusas at first base did. Ross looking to retire the side. Here's the pitch, and it's inside and low. Second walk of the inning, 4 on the day for Ross. He lost the batter, getting ahead 1-2. Again today, Alex struggling with that fastball command. So back-to-back walks, loads the bases for the Lynx. In steps Mike Slaby. First pitch to him. Bouncing in, 1-0. Now the last time Slaby stood in with the bases loaded, he had a walk-off grand slam to win the New England Collegiate Conference. Mentioned that earlier. A time called now. Hopkins pitching coach Ryan Graves out to talk to his starter. It's a scorcher today here in York. These last 2 days, temperatures hitting the 90s. Hottest days up here all year. But the weather, temperature-wise at least, is supposed to get much better as the tournament goes on. Tomorrow, seeing mid-80s. And then Saturday, Sunday, into Monday, low to mid-70s and some sun. Now that sounds like perfect baseball weather to me. It seems like every year when the regional tournament comes around, for whatever reason, it's hot the week before and then it gets significantly colder for the tournament itself. Pitch coming in, and Slaby takes a fastball at the knees for a strike, 1-1. Oh, maybe the night games on Saturday and Sunday, when it gets into the 70s for highs, might be a little chilly at night. 1-1 count here. Here's the pitch from Ross. Working out of the windup. This one fouled back out of play on the right side. 1-2. Slaby struck out looking back in the second. One of 3 Alex Ross strikeout victims. Slaby awaits the 1-2. Here it comes. Swing and a miss. Alex Ross gets him. 4th strikeout for the lefty. Works himself out of big trouble here in the 3rd inning. Lesley strands the bases loaded. Through 3 innings today, they've left 6 men on base, 4 in scoring position. We're through 2.5 here in York. Lesley on top, 1-0. Home half of the 3rd here in New York. Harrison Swartz. Glad you could join us today. Lesley. Long trip down from Cambridge, Massachusetts yesterday. I'd have to guess about a 6 or 7 hour drive. For Hopkins, a little bit of an easier trip, a 1 hour shot up 83 from Baltimore. Joe Conlon swinging foul one back. The count is 0-1. Conlon and then Mike Eberle and then Connor Reynolds. 8-9-1 for Hopkins, trailing 1-0. The pitch from Muratori outside. A changeup this time at 75. 1-1. Conlon hit 300 in his senior year, a breakout year for the lefty. Bouncing ball right side and just under the glove of Tyler Shio into right field. Now Conlon will start his tournament 1 for 1. Fourth hit for Johns Hopkins. In each of their 3 innings today, the leadoff man has recorded a hit. Connor Reynolds doubled in the first. He was picked off. Alex Darwitz singled in the second. He was part of a double play. Now Conlon singles in the third. In steps the freshman switch hitter Mike Eberle. First pitch, fouled back out of play on the left side and off the facade of the club level here at Peoples Bank Park. 0-1. Back in 2015 when Hopkins was here, this stadium was called Santander Stadium. This venue has gone under a number of name changes since it was built back in 2007. Upstairs on the fastball, 1 ball and 1 strike. Eberle moved down to the 9 spot. Most of this year, he's hit between 5 and 7 in Bob Babb's lineup. 1-1. Again, slapped foul the opposite way. 1-2. Eberle recorded a walk-off single against Ursinus College back in the Centennial Conference tournament. Gave his team a 4-3 walk-off victory and sent them here to the Mid-Atlantic Regional. Again, fouled into the seats and ricochets back into the on-deck circle, and Connor Reynolds makes a nice barehanded grab for Johns Hopkins. 1-2 again to Eberle. Double play depth for Lesley. Big hole on the right side. 1-2. Lined up the middle. There's a base hit. Back-to-back singles for the Jays in the third. Well, they haven't had any issues getting hits off of Tom Muratori. They have 5 against him, 1 time through the order. They just haven't been able to score against the junior righty. Now back to the top of the order. Connor Reynolds, the Centennial Conference Player of the Year. He doubled off the arch nemesis. Just missed a home run on the first pitch he saw back in the first inning. Now an RBI opportunity for him here. Remember, he got to second base and was picked off by Muratori. That'll miss low and away, 1-0. Connor Reynolds, a first-teamer as well in the conference, became just the 3rd player in Johns Hopkins baseball history to become a 4-time All-Centennial Conference honoree. Open stance for the senior. Takes one low and away, 2-0. The other 2 for Hopkins were John Christ from 1996 to 1999 and Johnny Craig from 1997 to 2000. 2-0. On the outside corner, a called strike, 2-1. Connor, 52 hits this year. 25 of them extra base hits, 15 doubles, 2 triples, 8 home runs. And that's on the outside corner again, 2-2. Reynolds also led the conference in walks with 40. That was good for 7th in D3 baseball. This one swung on, foul-tipped, and Cervantes can't hold on. So Reynolds gets another crack at Muratori. He was also 13th in Division III in runs scored and 15th in on-base percentage at .538. Another monster year for the senior from Baltimore, playing locally. Upstairs, count runs full, 3-2. Connor went 5 for 11 in the Centennial Conference Tournament, a couple of multi-hit games. Today, making his 8th career start at shortstop in an NCAA regional game. A spin and a look back to second, no throw from Muratori. Lesley on top, 1-0 in the home half of the third. (3-2), and it misses outside. Connor Reynolds wins the battle, picks up his 41st walk of the year. not many do it better than him. Now the bases are loaded with nobody out for Brian Lynn against Tom Muratori. That'll prompt a mound visit from pitching coach Ryan Filipowicz. Excuse me. First walk issued today by Muratori. He's allowed 5 hits, 1 walk through 2+. Now, Brian Lynn, he struck out on 3 pitches back in the first. Watched 2 go by on the outside corner. And they got a fastball in, swung over top and missed. 17 strikeouts on the year for him. Back in 2015 in the Mid-Atlantic Regional, Brian had a phenomenal tournament. First pitch, up and away, 1-0. That was an injury-riddled season for Lynn. That year a sophomore. Battled some hamstring issues, came back, recorded 10 hits in 5 ball games here in York. Up and away again, 2-0. And then last year, Brian, a down season, played the entire year, was healthy, just couldn't seem to put the ball in play. Now this year, a second-teamer in the conference, hit .333. 2-0 on the way, shows bunt and pulls back, and it misses up. 3-0. Well, no place to put him if you're Muratori. You have to throw Brian Lynn a strike. Hopkins has the bases loaded. Joe Conlon at third base. Here's the 3-0 to Brian, and it's a 4-pitch walk. Hopkins is on the board. It's a 1-1 game here in the third inning. So Joe Conlon, who picked up a base-loaded walk himself in the Centennial Conference tournament, scores on a bases-loaded walk here to Brian Lynn. Eberle to third, Reynolds to second, Lynn on at first. Mike Smith stands in, first pitch. Ground ball left side. Third baseman Slaby comes home for 1. They get the lead man, and that's it. And nice play by Slaby. Kind of an awkward ground ball. Had to go to his left to field a short hop. Spun and came home and made a perfect throw to Jacob Cervantes. Now 1 out. Bases remain loaded for Hopkins. In steps Ryan Orgalevich. 10 home runs on the year. Today 0 for 1. First pitch. Line to left center field. That one is down, and Hopkins has the lead. Reynolds will score. Lynn coming in behind him. He'll get in standing. It's a 3-run third inning, and the Jays lead 3-1. So Ryan Orgalevich hops on a first pitch fastball from Muratori and picks up RBIs 46 and 47. A single for him. Mike Smith goes from first to second. Now Alex Darwich will stand in for the second time today. He's 1 for 1. He grounds one right side. Second baseman to second for 1. Relay. Not in time. Darwich beats out the throw. They get Orgalevich at second base. Smith heads to third. Now 2 out. So men on the corners. John Hayden stands in. Hopkins with 3 runs in so far this inning. Hayden hit into a 4-6-3 double play back in the second. He's 0 for 1. First pitch. Bouncing ball right side on 1 hop. Matthew Warner has it. Steps on the bag. And the inning finally comes to an end for Tom Muratori and the Lynx. The Jays score 3, though. A bases-loaded walk to Brian Lynn. 2 batters later, Ryan Orgalevich, a 2 RBI base knock to left center.
Something I discovered in myself is that if I have a goal, and I can accomplish it.
It's a well-rounded experience.
At a Division III school, you primarily a student athlete, so the school is really shaped around you developing yourself as a complete individual.
It helps a lot that you have a family with your team that can guide you.
Back and one went off the wall. One guy actually did put his hand out and hit him right in the hand.
Ooh.
He stopped it from someone else, and then the girl sitting down here from Hopkins must be the guy's friends or girlfriends.
Yeah.
I don't know. They have signs and stuff. Yeah, one of them, the chair she was in, she ducked, but hit the chair next to her or her chair did.
Fourth inning here in York. Lesley looking to respond to Hopkins' 3-run third inning. Picked up a run back in the top of the first. Haven't scored since. They left 6 men on base today. Just 1 hit against Alex Ross. Nicholas Ferragine will lead things off and foul it back to the screen. 0-1. Ferragine, and then he's followed by Ellis Intriago. And then back to the top of the order in Vincent Talarcio. 0-1. Right there for strike 2. Let's see if maybe a lead now calms Alex Ross down a bit. He's walked 3 today, hit a batter, and has worked himself out of some jams in the second and third. Well outside here on the curveball, 1-2. Alex, a native of San Ramon, California, attended De La Salle High School. Big football powerhouse out on the West Coast. This one will bounce into the backstop, 2-2. Mentioned earlier, he led the Jays pitching staff a season ago with 4 saves, was good for second in the Centennial Conference. That one just a bit low, 3-2. But last year around this time, the Blue Jay coaches were preparing Alex to take over a starting role. This one lined right side, diving grab by Mike Eberly. Our first web gem of this ball game. Mike Eberly, the freshman, takes 2 steps to his left, goes full extension, and comes up with the liner. Robs Ferragine of a hit. And he is 0 for 1 today with a walk. A 1 gone. In steps Ellis Intriago. Takes one low, 1-0. But Alex has not made one relief appearance this season. All 12 starts for him. Low and in, 2-0. Called strike. 2-1. And Alex has pitched in some high-profile summer leagues. Definitely helpful. Up and away, 3-1. Last summer, pitched in the Cal Ripken Collegiate Baseball League in Baltimore. Count runs full here, 3-2. Pitched for a team called the Baltimore Dodgers. Faced some top Division I talent. Way outside here, there's his 4th walk of the day. Alex just seemed to be working a bit too quickly there. Trying to get himself into a rhythm. Trying to find his comfort zone. And now he has to face the top of the order once again. Now, pinch hitter now for Lesley. Looks like number 22, Will Roan, a freshman from North Haven, Connecticut, comes into the ball game. It is Will Roan. He'll be held on by Joe Conlon. And back into the stretch goes Alex Ross. Move to first base. Roan back easily. Now back to Alex, though. He pitched in the Ripken League last year, played against some top Division I talent. This summer, he's going to the Northwoods League. Play for a team in Bismarck, North Dakota. Regarded as one of the top summer leagues in the country, he will face even better talent there this summer before he enters his senior year with Hopkins next year. Tyler Shio watches one miss way outside here. The count evens up 1-1. Back out of high school, Alex was ranked as the 20th best southpaw in the state of California from the class of 2014. Check swing here. Did he go? Bill Rush says he did not. 2-1. That one missing just a bit upstairs. So 20th in California, 163rd best lefty in the nation. This one fouled into the stands, right side. We'll go to 2-2. But this year was his first time starting for a team since his senior year of high school. 2-2 on the way. Breaking ball, called strike, 3 on the outside corner. Alex Ross picks up his 5th strikeout. First today of Tyler Shio. He strikes out for the 20th time this year. And we have 2 away in the 4th. Steven DePalma will stand in now. 0 for 2 today. 2 gone in the top of the 4th. Swings at the first pitch, grounds it to Connor Reynolds. He goes to Eberly, a high throw, but the freshman keeps his foot on the bag, and the inning is over. A 1-out walk, not much else going on here in York. We're through 3.5. Hopkins on top, 3-1. Blue Jays coming to bat here in the 4th. Harrison Swartz with you. Tommy Me will get things started. Bottom third of the Blue Jay lineup here. Me, Conlin, and Eberly. First pitch to the senior captain. Fastball on the inside corner for strike 1. Tommy grounded out to Faragine to end the second. He's 0 for 1. 0-1. Bouncing in. 1 ball and 1 strike. He's getting the start out in center field today, patrolling an absolutely enormous outfield here at Peoples Bank Park. Had experience doing so back in 2015, though, in the regional. Gets a called strike on the outside corner here. Count goes to 1-2. Pitch from Muratori. Line to left field. That's a base hit. Me will round first base, takes a big turn and halts. Retreats back to the bag, a leadoff single. What's new for the Blue Jays? 4 innings today, 4 leadoff hits. That's their 7th already against Tom Muratori. Now Joe Conlin stands in. He's 1 for 1. Got the scoring going for the Blue Jays an inning ago. Was on third base when Brian Lynn drew a bases-loaded walk. Conlon takes one up and in, 1-0. After this ball game today, Wheaton will take on Elizabethtown, and then tonight, the nightcap will be Shenandoah and SUNY Maritime. Outside here, 2 balls and no strikes. You mentioned earlier this ball game was supposed to begin at 1:15. Got going at 2:35. So you're thinking Wheaton and Elizabethtown, and then even later Shenandoah and SUNY Maritime will get started pretty late as well. Slow bouncing ball back to the mound. Muratori spins, turns to second for one, relay to first, in time to get Conlon. 1-6-3 double play. Second twin killing turn by his Lesley today. And now 2 gone in the 4th. Jays lead 3-1. Mike Eberle stands in. Late on the fastball, 0-1. That one coming in 83 from Tom Muratori. Eberle singled back up the box. And he fouls one back out of play on the left side here. Winner of this ball game takes on Alvernia tomorrow. First pitch scheduled for 4:30, but you know how that goes. It'll be much later than 4:30 probably. Oh, 2 swung on and missed. Eberle chased one low and outside. Would have been ball 1. Goes down on 3 pitches. Another strikeout from Muratori. That's his second today. Allows leadoff single. Gets Conlon to ground into a twin killing. Then gets Eberle swinging. We're through 4. Johns Hopkins 3. Lesley 1.
It's on us. It's on all of us. And it's time to act now.
It's on us to start the change. It's on us to be the change. It's on us. It's on Division III. It's on all of us to stop sexual assault.
Back here in York for the top of the 5th on the 80th birthday of Brooks Robinson. Not only a huge baseball figure in Baltimore, but here in York as well. A long time ago played for the York White Roses. Has his statue right outside this ballpark at the entrance. Alex Ross delivers one low and inside. 1-0. Brooks, a regular here at York Evolution games. Way outside here, 2 balls and no strikes to Ryan Pumfret, the 3-batter for Lesley, who today has walked and been hit by a pitch. But again, happy birthday to Brooks. 2-0 coming, low and inside. He was hit near the ankles earlier, nearly took one there again. Way ahead here, 3-0. And here comes Hopkins head coach Bob Babb. He makes the call to the bullpen mid-at-bat in a 3-0 count. Alex Ross will see his day come to an end. We will get a righty coming in for Johns Hopkins. Looks like it'll be Harrison Folk entering the ballgame, a sophomore and Texas native. We'll take a short break and come right back in the 2017 Mid-Atlantic Regional Tournament. Harrison Folk on to pitch for Johns Hopkins in a 3-0 count. He delivers a first pitch strike to Ryan Pomfret. Alex Ross, 4 innings today, allows just 1 hit, strikes out 5, walks 4. 3-1 from Folk, swung on and missed. 3-2. Harrison Folk from Coppell, Texas, graduate of Dallas Jesuit High School. From the stretch, he comes home. 3-2, foul tipped, held on to by Ryan Orgalevich. Interesting at bat for Ryan Pomfret. Faces 2 different pitchers, falls behind 3-0, gets a new pitcher, and he goes down swinging on the next 3. So Harrison Folk comes in, pounds the zone, picks up a strikeout. This one lined the opposite way and foul down the first base line by inches. Matthew Warner inches away from extra bases. Count 0-1. Folk this year a 1.57 ERA. He appeared in 2 ball games in the Centennial Conference Tournament, throwing 3 innings scoreless. He has not allowed an earned run over his last 5 outings. Last earned run allowed came on April 21st against Franklin and Marshall. 0-1. Swung on and missed. 0-2. And he's allowed just 1 earned run over his last 8 appearances. He has 1 start this year. It came down in Fort Myers on Hopkins' spring trip. This one grounded towards short. Reynolds will field, throws on the run, 2 away. And now Folk, who's on his first regional roster for Hopkins, appearing in his first regional game. J.P. Adjagusis will stand in. A strikeout looking and a walk today for the junior. First pitch from Folk. Swung on and missed. Fastball coming in 83, just a bit slower than Ross's fastball that topped out about 87, 88 today. Hopkins leads 3-1, top 5. That one will bounce in 1-1. And Jagusis from the Hanscom Air Force Base in Massachusetts. Located in northeast Massachusetts. Drives one out to right field. Brian Lynn is under it. The right fielder makes the call, trailing back, makes the grab, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Johns Hopkins. We're halfway home here in Game 2 on day 1 of the Mid-Atlantic Regional Baseball Tournament. Hopkins leads Lesley 3-1. He's done that so many times this year. That's so weird, but hey, it works. All right, folks, here we go. Bottom 5. Harrison Swartz with you. Connor Reynolds will lead things off in the 5th. Reynolds, Lynn, and Smith, the top of the order for Hopkins against Tom Muratori. Muratori, 2 strikeouts through 4 innings today. He's allowed 7 hits. First pitch to Reynolds, a breaking ball, low and away. 1-0. Reynolds been on base twice today. Doubled back in the first, walked and scored in the 3rd. And takes one outside here. 2-0. Reynolds now a 7-game hit streak. 13 for 28 over that stretch. Ground ball up the middle, and he has a 2-hit game. Reynolds been on base 3 times today. Hit number 8 for Johns Hopkins. Now Brian Lynn, I mentioned earlier, a second-team Centennial Conference honoree. Hopkins had 7 all-conference honorees, including the Coach of the Year in Bob Babb. 7 were the most in the Centennial Conference. Pitch to Brian. Upstairs, 1-0. For Lesley, they had 4 all-conference selections. And they had the Coach of the Year as well, and Billy Cather. 1-0 to Brian. Line to left center. There's a base hit. Brian Lynn's on for the second time today. Reynolds racing towards third base. Here's the throw. It comes in on a hop, not in time. The throw to second base. Lynn dives in safely. The Jays have 2 men in scoring position here in the 5th. Another base knock for Johns Hopkins. They have been relentless against Muratori today. Well, if you look at Muratori's game log, that now ties his season high in hits allowed. He allowed 9 against Mitchell College on May the 6th in the NECC Conference Tournament. Breaking ball low and away. Or that hit for a strike, I guess. 0-1. Mike Smith today, 1 for 2, a single, and reached on a fielder's choice in the 3rd. 0-1. Off the fist, slow ground ball, third base. Slaby fields, high throw, it sails over the head of Warner. A run will score, Reynolds in. Now Lynn being waved home by Babb. And Smith heading all the way to third base. That's a 3-base error, and 2 runs come in to score. Hopkins leads 5-1. Man, oh man, Slaby had all the time in the world, fielded that ball cleanly. And just airmailed one over the head of first baseman Matthew Warner. Smith did a nice job recognizing where that ball was, how it took the hop off the wall and into shallow right and got all the way to third base. Now Ryan Orgalevich stands in. First pitch to him, a breaking ball in for strike 1. No RBIs for Mike Smith on that one. But the Jays will take the 2 runs. Another breaking ball, and Ryan just gets a piece and fouls it back. Quickly 0-2. Ryan has 6 career hits in this stadium in 4 career games, including a home run over top of the arch nemesis. Bounced foul behind Hopkins head coach Bob Babb, down towards the Blue Jay pen. Nobody tossing for Hopkins right now. The Lesley bullpen was getting hot earlier, but I don't see anybody up and throwing right now. Pitch to Ryan, breaking ball, called strike 3 on the inside corner. Oh, Ryan does not like that call. Jumps up in disbelief, turns around, says a couple words to Jason McDermott, and walks back to the dugout. Understandably frustrated, probably thinks he knows the strike zone, being the catcher, but not enough, I guess, as he watches one hit on the inside corner. Alex Darwich stands in now with 1 away. He'll watch a breaking ball miss low. 1-0. Third strikeout on the day for Muratori. First of the looking variety. First 3 men in the inning reached before that strikeout. (1-0). There's a strike. 1-1. Darwich 1 for 2, singled back in the second. Hitting .260 on the year. Pitch on the way. Little blooper out to center field. Coming in, Ajagusis. Diving attempt that falls to the field, and another run will score. Mike Smith trots home from third base, and Hopkins leads 6-1. So Alex Darwich picks up his second hit of the day and first RBI of the tournament. That's his second career RBI in an NCAA regional. And his third career hit in this stadium. Hayden stands in now. John Hayden 0 for 2. First pitch swinging, line foul into the seats left side, about 8 or 9 rows up. Count 0-1. Lesley put up the one run of theirs in the top of the first. Hopkins put a 3 spot up in the third. Now 3 more here in the fifth. Not done yet here as Hayden puts a charge into one deep right field. Back is in Triago. And that one, Roan. And that one hops off the wall. Gliding into second base, Hayden picks up his first hit. He's 1 for 3, and the Jays have 2 men in scoring position again. I beg your pardon, that is Will Roan out in right field. Came in earlier for Intriago. So hit number 11 for Hopkins, and now time called. A mound visit to Tom Muratori. Second visit for him today. John Hayden trots down to third base to talk things over with his head coach. Now Muratori, he's allowed a hit in every inning today. He gave up 2 in the first, 1 in the second, 3 in the third, 1 in the fourth, and so far 3 more here in the fifth. Hopkins had a 2-game stretch of not reaching double-digit hits. Gets back to that mark here in the fifth inning. So now Darwich at third, Hayden at second base. Tommy Mee stands in. 2 on, 1 out, first pitch. Ground ball fair down the third base line. That's going to be 2 more runs for Johns Hopkins. Darwich, here comes Hayden. Tommy Mee into second base standing with his second hit of the day, a 2 RBI double. RBIs 18 and 19. 8-1 Johns Hopkins. Now Joe Conlon will stand in for the third time today. Well, it took a while, but the Blue Jay offense has woken up. Joe Conlon 1 for 2 with a run scored today. He put one up in the air foul and out of play left side. Joe is already the 8th batter to hit for the Blue Jays here in the fifth. Hopkins has 5 hits in the inning. 6 men have reached. The only one that didn't is Ryan Orgalevich, who struck out looking. Fastball outside here for Muratori. I still don't see anybody throwing in the Lesley pen. I'd imagine that Billy Cather, the head coach for Lesley, would like Muratori to get through 5. Conlon bounces one right side. First baseman Warner off the bag. Flips to the covering Muratori, who steps on first base. 2 down. Tommy Mee heads down to third base. Quick look around Division III baseball. Up in Harwich, Massachusetts, top-seeded UMass Boston on top of Penn State Berks 8-5. First pitch to Mike Eberle, hits him. Hits him in the lower back, and he'll head down to first base. So the Blue Jays will head back to the top of the order, and Connor Reynolds, who led off the inning with a single. We have an upset brewing out in the Mid-East Regional. 8th-seeded Earlham is on top of top-seeded Worcester 6-2. Connor Reynolds on base 3 times a day, a couple of hits and a walk. Breaking ball here, hits at the knees for strike 1. Men on the corners for the Blue Jays. They have scored 5 runs here in the 5th. Oh, 1 will bounce in, skip away from Cervantes. A run will come in to score. Tommy Mee makes it 9-1. Mike Eberle down to second base. And right now, Muratori just trying to get 1 more out. Wants to get out of this nightmare 5th inning. Way outside to Reynolds, 2-1. Hopkins really does not have a weak spot in this lineup. Everyone's been hitting today. All 9 batters in the starting lineup have recorded a hit for the Blue Jays. Curveball bounced foul off the front of the Blue Jay dugout on the third base side. 2-2. Reynolds has 2. Lynn has 1. Smith has 1. Orgalevich has 1. Darwich 2. Hayden 1. Tommy Mee with 2. And then both Conlon and Eberle have a hit apiece. Reynolds hits 1 high in the air, deep left field here. Back is De Palma. He looks up, and that ball is gone. Connor Reynolds hits his 9th home run of the year. Nearly hit 1 out earlier. Now hits 1 over top of the arch nemesis for our 2nd home run of this regional. RIT hit 1 earlier. Now Reynolds sneaks 1 over top of the wall. Makes the score 11-1. And now Reynolds on the day, 3 for 3. A triple short of the cycle. And that's going to do it for Tom Muratori. He will exit after 4 2/3, allowing 11 runs against Johns Hopkins. We'll introduce the new Lesley pitcher after a short break. Right now, your score, Johns Hopkins 11, Lesley 1. Jeff Hines is the new pitcher for Lesley. He replaces Tom Muratori, who goes 4 2/3, gives up a season-high 13 hits, gives up a season-high 11 runs, strikes out 3, walks 2. Hines will face the switch-hitting Brian Lynn, who swings at the first pitch, drives it or pops it up foul left side, I beg your pardon, and the catcher, Jacob Cervantes, can't haul it in. New life for Brian Lynn with 2 away in the 5th. Hopkins so far this inning, let's see here, they have recorded 7 hits and scored 8 runs. Jeff Hines making his 18th appearance in relief this year. He is 1-2 with 4 saves. Now Brian Lynn hits one out to right field. Over is Roan. He makes a diving attempt for it, and it falls to the field. Lynn racing towards third base. He will get there standing, and I'd imagine that'd be ruled a hit. That's a tough play for Will Roan to make. Let's see what they do rule that. Each team with 1 error today. But another man in scoring position nonetheless for Hopkins. Now they're ruling it a hit, a triple for Brian Lynn. Mike Smith stands in, gets a breaking ball outside, 1-0. Well, 14 hits today now for Johns Hopkins. Pitch to Mike, line foul, not a play. That one just above the seats. Just under an hour and a half into this ball game. We're in the bottom of the 5th here in York, PA. This one line foul over top of Bob Babb. Babb and the Blue Jays making their 14th trip to the Mid-Atlantic Regional. Second time to York. 1-2. Mike Smith again, line foul. He's been just a bit early on 3 straight breaking balls from Hines. Just under 22 innings of work this year for the junior from Portsmouth, New Hampshire. Stands at 5'9", 170. And again, line foul. This one off the front of the Blue Jay dugout. Mike Smith endangering many of his teammates with all these foul balls. A .415 earned run average for Hines, and he has struck out 8. Again, a pitch to Mike. Takes this one the opposite way and pops it up. Who wants it? Tyler Shio, the second baseman in shallow right field, makes the grab, flips it back to the mound, and I'm sure Lesley is relieved to see this inning finally come to an end. Hopkins busts out 8 hits in the inning. 8 hits and 8 runs. And at the end of 5, the Blue Jays lead the Lynx 11-1. All right, folks, top 6. Harrison Swartz with you on the broadcast. Harrison Folk on the mound for Hopkins. Blue Jays exploded for 8 runs in the 5th inning. They lead 11-1. Jacob Cervantes will get things started in the 6th inning for the Lynx. Cervantes, Slaby, and Faragine. Harrison Folk, a 3-up, 3-down 5th inning, which seems like forever ago. Bouncing ball to Connor Reynolds on 2 hops. He fields and a high throw over the head of Joe Conlon. Leadoff man on base for Lesley. So Cervantes gets on. That'll be an error on Connor Reynolds. His 2nd of the day and his 16th of the year. Reynolds has been solid at the plate and a bit shaky at short. So Cervantes on base for the 3rd time today. A fielder's choice, a walk, now the throwing error. Mike Slaby 0 for 2, a couple of strikeouts, stands in. Swing and a miss, a fastball low and inside, chased over top. Slaby last year a NECC second teamer. Takes one outside here. Last year he set career highs nearly every offensive category. Hit 361. This year that average came down to 295. Not bad at all. Just nowhere near that 360 mark. Called strike there, 1-2. He recorded just 2 hits in his conference tournament, but drove in 5. Of course, 4 of those 5 coming on the walk-off grand slam. It gave his team the automatic bid and their first ever regional tournament appearance. 1-2 the count from Folk to Slaby. Long wait. Now Folk will come set. He comes home. This one bounced foul. Slaby actually knows one of the Johns Hopkins pitchers very well. That'd be junior southpaw Nick Burns. Apparently, the two of them played on a summer team together a few years back. UAA ball. Again, Folk comes home. This one off the fists and fouled back to the screen. Slaby back in high school, a multi-sport athlete, played both baseball and football. He was the quarterback for the football team and the captain of their varsity baseball squad. 1-2, called strike 3. Folk gets him looking on the outside corner. Picks up his second strikeout, and we have one down in the 6th. You mentioned earlier, Alvernia, the 5 seed, beat the 4-seeded Rochester Institute of Technology 8-4. So the winner of this one, right now is looking like Hopkins, would face Alvernia for a scheduled 4:30 first pitch tomorrow. And it would be Lesley if they would lose, unless they spark a monumental comeback. Will be taking on RIT in the morning in the losers bracket. A called strike there at the knees. A 1-ball, 1-strike count to Nicholas Faragine. Walks back in the 2nd, robbed of a single by Mike Eberly in the 4th. Eberly, a nice full extension diving grab. This one lined to right field, and it's over top of the head of Eberly. Being waved home is Cervantes. He will score easily. That's the 2nd run for Lesley of the day. It is now an 11-2 Johns Hopkins lead. Now that's the first earned run that Harrison Folk has allowed since April the 21st. Just the 6th earned run he's allowed all season. So Nicholas Faragine picks up his 33rd hit of the year and 11th RBI. He's on at first base with one away. And I take that back. That's an unearned run charged to Folk because of the error. My apologies there. An unearned run on the throwing error from Connor Reynolds. First pitch here to Will Roan, bounced up to Eberly, flipped to second for one, relay to first in time. Now Roan in his first at bat today. Oh, that was a pinch hitter now, in fact, Justin Clark. It was announced as Will Roan, but it was Justin Clark, in fact, who bounces into the inning-ending 4-6-3 double play. 37th turn.
I'm a Division III student athlete, and I know how powerful words can be. The term gay doesn't mean stupid, lame, or less than.
So I pledge to speak up if I hear the term gay used in a derogatory way or any other homophobic terms.
If you can play in Division III.
I'm a Division III student athlete, and my teammates unconditionally accepted me as part of their family. So now I pledge to do the same for others. If you can play in Division III.
All right, just so everyone's on the same page here. You had Will Ronan. He was pinch hit for by Justin Clark, who hit into the inning-ending 4-6-3 double play. Now a new right fielder for Lesley is Gage Raycroft. Ryan Orgalevich will get things started. Back out to pitch, Jeff Hines. Count 1-0. Orgalevich, Darwich, and Hayden for Johns Hopkins. Pitch from Hines. Swung on and missed. Fouled back to the screen. 1-1. So the Lesley defense for you, Stephen DePalma in left, J.P. Adjagusis in center, and Gage Raycroft is in right. In the infield left to right, Mike Slaby, Nicholas Faragine, Vincent Talercio, and Matthew Warner. Behind the plate, Jacob Cervantes. Orgalevich lines one back up the middle, a base hit. He has himself a two-hit day. He's 2 for 4. Alex Darwich will stand in now for Hopkins. He has himself 2 hits today. Hopkins now 15 hits, 1 of each today. A plethora of singles, a home run, a triple, and a few doubles. That one, a called strike to Darwich, 0-1. Outside here, 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, the 6th inning has been kind to Johns Hopkins this year. They have done very well, outscoring their opponents 65-11. Breaking ball up and in, 2-1. The only innings they haven't outscored their opponents this year are the 2nd and the 9th. Pitch to Darwich, fouled off his leg now, 2-2. Game win streak for the Blue Jays, looking good to extend that to 20. It's the 4th longest currently in program history. Popped up foul and back into the stands on the right side. After this ball game, about 65 minutes after, it'll be Wheaton taking on Elizabethtown. Darwich reaches for one, pulls it to left. Almost an atom ball to Stephen DePalma, who's had a somewhat quiet day defensively. He makes the grab, and we have 1 down in the 6th inning. Alex Darwich now 2 for 4. Jeff Hines will get his first look at John Hayden. Hines, a junior. As Hayden drives one out to left field here. Now DePalma, back-to-back fly ball outs, makes the grab. Hayden retired on the first pitch. He's 1 for 4 now, 2 away. Now you say that he hasn't get out much work, and 2 straight fly balls. Hines was a member of the 2013 Portsmouth NHIAA State Championship team. His bio lists him as a big fan of the 4 Boston area sports teams, which would come as no surprise. Those fans are crazy about their professional sports up there, and the majority of this Lesley roster from the New England region. 4 or 5 kids from California, 1 from Fort Myers, Florida, where Hopkins takes their spring trip every year, in fact. Low and away here to Tommy Mee, count 1-1. Jays lead it 11-2, 2 gone in the home half of the 6th. Tommy Mee just gets a piece, fouls it off to the left, 1-2. One trickles over towards Joe Conlon, who awaits his turn at bat in the on-deck circle. Now time called, Cervantes out to talk to Hines. I mentioned earlier, Hines is appearing in his 18th game of the year, tying his career high. Led the team last year with 18 appearances, all in relief, and in 2015 appeared in 15 games in his freshman campaign. Tommy just gets a piece of this one and fouls into the seats, about 6 rows deep behind the Lesley dugout. Nobody throwing in either bullpen. Pitch to Tommy, swung on and missed. That one looked like a slider coming in about 64 miles per hour from Hines. Gets the senior swinging for the final out of the 6th inning. Now we're through 6. Hopkins leads it 11-2 as we head to the 7th inning. On to the 7th inning on a hot, humid, sticky day here in York, Pennsylvania. Harrison Swartz with you here on the broadcast for Game 2. Johns Hopkins and Lesley in Game 2 of the 2017 Mid-Atlantic Regional Baseball Tournament, hosted by the Middle Atlantic Conference and the York Revolution. Line drive back up the middle. It's a base hit for Vincent Talarcio. He has himself a multi-hit performance today. Doubled back in the first, now a single off of Harrison Folk. You know, that double earlier in the game for Talarcio actually doubled his hit total from a season ago. So he's really picked it up now in his sophomore campaign. In steps Steven DePalma, 0 for 3 on the afternoon. Bouncing ball left side, double play opportunity to Eberle for 1, to Conlon. In plenty of time, the relay gets him 6-4-3. Now on the day, each team has turned a couple of double plays. And just as quickly as Tyler Shio gets the single, it's erased by the Stephen DePalma double play. 2 gone in the 7th. Folk has thrown just 2 pitches. First one to Ryan Pomfret, a fastball in for a strike at 82. 0-1. Matthew Warner on deck for Lesley. Swing and a miss, no balls and 2 strikes. Folk came on in relief of Alex Ross. Alex went 4+ today, throwing 3 pitches to Pomfret back in the 5th before being pulled mid-at-bat. Low and away. And then Folk, who came in and inherited a 3-0 count, threw him 3 straight strikes, and he swung through all 3. Now way behind here, 1-2. Folk looking to make quick work of the Lynx in the 7th. And now he'll step off the rubber and quickly stand back on from the first base side. Quickly nods, kicks, comes home. That one foul out of play on the right side. Pomfret's been on base twice today, a walk and a hit by pitch. Mentioned earlier, he recorded 4 hits in this conference tournament. All 4 hits came in the 2 games against Mitchell College. Has recorded a hit in 3 of his last 4 games. Pitch, swing and a miss. Folk gets him. Faces the minimum number of batters here in the 7th. A leadoff single, double play, and Folk picks up his 3rd strikeout. Stretch time here in York. It's 11-2 Hopkins here at Peoples Bank Park. All right, we have some defensive changes for you for Lesley. Stephen DePalma, who is in left field, is now on the mound. He will face Joe Conlon to get the bottom of the 7th started. Fastball at 84, misses low and inside, 1-0. The new left fielder, Riley Golden, enters the ball game. And as of now, that's all of the changes I can see. Ooh, that one airmailed over the head of Jacob Cervantes. Missed the zone badly. It sails the backstop. Count 2-0. Jeff Hines goes an inning and a 1/3 today in relief of Tom Muratori. Gives up 2 hits, no runs, and strikes out 1 batter. 2-0 coming from DePalma. Look out, that fastball up and in. Might have another change here for you.
Riley Golden was at 25 now on left. Behind the plate is number 28, right at fair foul.
Brendan Fairchild is now catching for Lesley, and Conlon walks. And that's your new Lesley defense here real quick. Riley Golden in left, J.P. Ajagusis in center, Gage Raycroft in right, Mike Slaby at third, Nicholas Faragine at short, Vincent Taylor-Shio at second, Matthew Warner at first, and Brendan Fairchild behind the plate. Count 0-1 to Mike Eberly after leadoff walk to Joe Conlon. Fastball on the outside corner here, 0-2. Eberly today on base a couple of times, singled in the third, hit by a pitch, and scored in the fifth. Reaches for this one, pops it up, foul, left side, down towards the Blue Jay pen. Giving chase is Faragine, but the shortstop can't catch up to it. Falls at the field, and new life for Mike Eberly. Top of the order on deck in Connor Reynolds. He'll stand in when he comes up, a triple short of the cycle. Jays lead it 11-2 in the home half of the seventh. His fastball bounced in, blocked by Fairchild. Fairchild, a freshman, California native. Temecula, California. And Riley Gordon out in left field is a freshman as well from Irvine, California. Fouled back to the screen. The funny thing is they're both listed as catchers, but it's Fairchild behind the plate and Golden in left. Outside to Eberly here. Count evens up 2 balls and 2 strikes. Steven DePalma having some command issues on the mound here. He's the third Lesley pitcher of the afternoon. Eberly fights one off foul and straight back. Sounds like it smacks off the facade of the club level here at Peoples Bank Park. Again, fouled off to the left. DePalma last pitched on May 3rd at Framingham State College. He went an inning and a third that day, allowing 3 hits and 1 earned run. And in that ball game, he tied his season high with 4 strikeouts. Count runs full now, 3-2. This is his 12th appearance on the mound this year. The freshman has started 3 games for the Lynx. 3-2 line to left field. That one is a fair ball and into the corner. Conlon heads to third base. Eberly will a stand-up double. Back-to-back men reach against DePalma. What an at-bat for the freshman. Falls behind quickly, 0-2. Fights off a number of pitches. Works into a 3-2 count. Gets a fastball up and away. And slaps it into the left field corner. So now Mike Eberly, has a 2-hit day. It's his 7th 2-bagger of the year. He had 2 hits all during the Centennial Conference Tournament. Now 2 hits in Game 1 of the Mid-Atlantic Regional. First pitch to Connor Reynolds, low and in, 1-0. So Connor today doubled on the first pitch he saw, then walked in the third, singled in the fifth, and had a 2-run shot in the fifth. Needs a triple for the cycle. Swing and a miss, big cut there. The count's 1-1. Oh, this is the field to get a triple on. Huge outfield. Lots of ground for center fielders to cover here at Peoples Bank Park. 1-1. Bouncing ball left side, diving stop by Slaby. He's up with it, on to first, and they get Reynolds. What a play by Slaby. Robs Reynolds of extra bases for sure. That one gets past him. 2 runs are scoring, and with Reynolds' speed, he's getting to second base. First time today the senior shortstop's been retired. He's now 3 for 4. One down in the 7th. Brian Lynn stands in and watches one bounce in for ball 1. He has 2 hits today. Five of the 9 Blue Jays starters have a multi-hit game today. Swing and a miss there, 1-1. Brian himself tripled a couple of innings ago. Couple of runs scored for him today. Here's the pitch. Bouncing ball right side, base hit. Brian Lynn has a 3-hit day. Another run scores. Conlon touches home. Eberly up 90 feet to third base. And the Jays now lead it 12-2. Brian Lynn picks up his 29th RBI of the year. He has 19 multi-hit games this year and 5 3+ hits game. 3+ hit games. Pinch hitter here for Mike Smith will be Dylan Bowman, a freshman from Greensboro, North Carolina. Bowman went 0 for 8 in the Centennial Conference Tournament. Swing and a miss there, 0-1. His issue as of late is a number of strikeouts. In that 0 for 8 performance, he struck out 5 times. Started first base all 3 conference games. This one, though, lined into the corner, fair ball. Mike Eberly will come home to score. Brian Lynn heading to third base. Bowman sliding into second base. An RBI double. Everyone's heading for the Jays today. It is now 13-2. So Bowman in his first career at bat in an NCAA regional picks up a double and an RBI. RBI number 14 on the year for Bowman, double number 3. Brian Lynn now at third base. Eberly has scored for the second time today. Now Ryan Orgalevich fouls one to the backstop. 18 hits for Johns Hopkins today. 13 off starter Tom Muratori, 2 off of Jeff Hines, and 3 so far against Steven DePalma in his first inning of relief. 0-1 to Ryan. Ground ball left side. A run will score. This one bobbled by Faragine. On to first base. Not in time. Orgalevich beats out the throw. Lynn crosses. It's 14-2. That will be an error on Nick Faragine, his 12th of the year, and each team has committed 2 today. Another pinch hitter for the Blue Jays. It'll be senior TJ Gordon. TJ rocking the full cage helmet because back in early April, he took a fastball off of the face and missed some time. Now back in action. Two on for him, 1 out. First pitch, look out, that one up and in. Oh, and that one cannot bring back some good memories. Would not bring back some good memories for TJ, I should say. He replaces Alex Darwich, who went 2 for 4 with an RBI and a run scored today. TJ grounds one left side. Backhanded by Faragine to second. And that's the only out they will get. The throw comes in on a hop. Tyler Shio goes and gets it, steps on the bag. Orgalevich retired, out number 2. Gordon on at first base with the fielder's choice. And Dylan Bowman down at third. Three runs in so far this inning for Hopkins. They have 3 in the third, 8 in the fifth, 3 here in the 7th. They lead it 13-2. Tim Kutcher will pinch hit for John Hayden now. Kutcher made a couple of starts for Hopkins in the Centennial Conference Tournament. Usually it's him starting against lefties and John Hayden getting the start against righties. Hayden today went 1 for 4 with a double and a run scored. Fastball in tight. Backs Kutcher off the plate. 1-0. Tim Kutcher, a local kid. Local via Baltimore, as this one is airmailed over the head of Brandon Fairchild, and Dylan Bowman will score. It's now 14-2 Johns Hopkins. All right, take that back. 15-2 Johns Hopkins. TJ Gordon out at second base. 2-0 count to Kutcher. That one is upstairs. 3-0. Check swing. Looked as though he got the green light, but decided to hold up anyway. Called strike on the outside corner here, 3-1. Two away, man in scoring position. Pitch to Kutcher. Another called strike, that one at the knees. He thought he had ball 4. He was heading down to first base. Now, this is the most runs that Lesley has allowed all season long. Definitely the toughest opponent they've faced, though. Kutcher pops one up. Back behind the plate. Fairchild giving chase. Keeps the mask on. Makes the grab. And the inning is over. But the Jays add 4 more. 3 hits in the inning. A walk. An error. And they strand 1 man in scoring position. Cam Mineo coming on to pitch for Hopkins. They lead 15-2. Defensive changes for you for Hopkins in the 8th. Mike Eberle moves from second base to third base. I believe this is the first time he's played third base in his college career. First pitch from Mineo to Warner will miss up 1-0. Tim Kutcher now in left field. TJ Gordon in center field. Dylan Bowman is now at second base. High in sight from Mineo. 2 balls and no strikes. Cam Mineo is pitching in his first career NCAA regional game. Mineo on the year is 6-0 with a 1.19 ERA. He's making his 15th appearance. 21 strikeouts, 2 walks. Just a guy that pounds the zone. leads the Jays in opponent batting average, just 181. That one inside, there's a walk. So Minio walks, leadoff man. Matthew Warner is on for the third time today. Still no hits for him. Lesley's been held to just 3 hits today. Tyler Shio, the leadoff man, has 2. The other one, you can't seem to, the other one came off the bat of Nicholas Faragine. There's a called strike, 0-1. Adjagusis, 0 for 2 with a walk today. Struck out looking against Alex Ross back in the first. Swing and a miss here. 1-2. Minio from San Antonio, Texas. Graduate of Alamo Heights High School. Just a 2-pitch arsenal, a fastball and a slider. That one low and in. Won't overpower you. Tops out about 80 miles per hour, but it's a funky arm slot from the senior. Slider there, check swing. He went too far, says Jason McDermott. Home plate umpire makes the call himself. Minio picks up the strikeout, 1 batter after the walk. 1 down in the 8th. By the way, Harrison Folk, today he goes 3 innings in relief of Alex Ross. 2 hits, 1 unearned run. Ground ball right side. Bowman flips to Reynolds. The spin, the fire, got him. Inning ending 4-6-3 double play. We head to the bottom of the 8th. Hopkins leads 15-2.
I have to show them too. So this is what they did. I don't really get it because somehow.
Daniel O'Donnell Jr. will now pitch for Lesley in the 8th. Chris Festa will pinch hit for Hopkins and foul one straight back. The inning is underway with an 0-1 count. Festa will hit for Tommy Mee. Today the senior went 2 for 4 with a double, a couple of RBIs, and a run scored. Vesta, a freshman and New Jersey native, hits one out to left field. Gliding back is Riley Gordon, and he'll make the grab. One away. Vesta retired on 2 pitches. Final line on Steven DePalma. 1 inning, 3 hits, 4 runs, and a walk. He will be non-decisioned. Right now, the pitcher of record, Tom Muratori, who, unless his team can come back from down 13, would fall to 7-4 today. Harrison Folk, the pitcher of record for Johns Hopkins, he went 3 innings. Jays lead at 15-2 in the home half of the 8th. Zach Robbins will pinch hit for Joe Conlon, another senior captain for the Blue Jays. Hits one high in the air and foul. Out of play on the left side, up about 15 rows deep. Daniel O'Donnell looking to make quick work of the Blue Jays here and probably just send his team back to the hotel quicker and get ready for tomorrow. Prep for Rochester Institute of Technology. It'll be a morning contest. The loser's bracket as Robbins lines one back up the box. There's a base hit. Robbins picks up his first career hit in an NCAA regional. And he starts it off 1 for 1. O'Donnell, a two-way guy for the Lynx. Last pitched on May 8th in the championship game against Mitchell. Went 2 innings that day. Gave up 2 hits and no runs. Even picked up the win in that championship contest. Pitched to Eberly, low and inside, 1-0. But he's also appeared in 22 games in the lineup. Just 4 starts. 188 batting average for him this year as Eberly takes one the opposite way for a base knock. He has himself a 3-hit day. It's just the third 3+ hit game of Eberly's career. And in steps another man with a 3-hit game today, Connor Reynolds. He'll get his second shot at the cycle. A home run in the 5th, double in the 1st, single in the 5th. He had 2 hits in that 8-run 5th inning. 3 for 4. He's been on base 4 times today, also walked, and has scored 3. That'll be low and away, 1-0. Reynolds does not have a 4-hit game on the season. Puts this one up in the air, out to center field. Anjagusis is over. He'll make the grab. Gets it back in quickly. No tag from Robbins. And now 2 away. 20 hits on the day for Johns Hopkins. They are out hitting Lesley 20-3. 2 gone in the home half of the 8th. Bradley Martin, a freshman, will now pinch hit for Brian Lynn. Bradley appearing in his 10th game this year. He's made just 2 starts. He's 0 for 1 at the plate. Couple of walks. Freshman from Sykesville, Maryland. First pitch low and away, 1-0. Martin's bio lists him as an avid fisherman. Not a sport I was ever able to do well. That'll miss. Nope, hits for a strike on the outside corner. He's the third catcher for Hopkins behind Ryan Orgalevich and Alex Darwich. Martin grounds one right side. Second baseman Tyler Shio fields, flips to second base, and the inning is over. Jays get a couple of men on base, a couple of one-out singles, but a fly ball out from Reynolds and the ground out from Martin, and the inning. We'll have a lot of defensive substitutions for you as we head to the top of the ninth here in York, PA. Hopkins is on top, 15-2. Jack Bunning will pitch the ninth for Johns Hopkins. He becomes the fourth Blue Jay pitcher of the afternoon. Cam Mineo goes an inning scoreless, no hits, no runs, one strikeout, one walk. The new defensive alignment for you for the Blue Jays: Tim Kutcher in left, TJ Gordon in center, Chris Festa in right. Mike Eberle at third, Connor Reynolds remains in at short, Dylan Bowman remains at second, Zach Robbins now at first, and Bradley Martin is behind the plate. Bunting, a native of Westfield, New Jersey, a graduate of Westfield High School, a transfer from Middlebury College. Middlebury, they nearly made a regional tournament this year. They failed at Tufts in that conference's championship. Bouncing ball to Eberle. Slaby is retired on one pitch in the ninth. 2 outs to go for Johns Hopkins. Hopkins turned a 4-6-3 double play to end the top of the eighth. They have turned 3 double plays today. Pinch hitter here for Lesley will be Aaron Rhodes, a senior from Chittenden, Vermont. First pitch at the knees for a strike. So Bunting got some work in the Centennial Conference tournament, pitching for the first time in an NCAA regional. This one hit out to deep center field. Actually coming in on it, TJ Gordon. He was playing back. The senior runs it down for out number 2. 1 to go. Now the winning pitcher today for Hopkins would be Harrison Folk. Folk would improve to 3-0 on the season. The losing pitcher would be Tom Muratori, the Lesley starting pitcher. He would fall to 7-4. After this one, it'll be Wheaton taking on Elizabethtown. Wheaton, the 3 seed, Elizabethtown, the 6 seed. Pitch to Raycroft will miss low and away. Bunting looking for a 1-2-3 ninth inning. Up and away here, 2-0. Gage Raycroft from Fort Myers, Florida, entered the ball game late today. There's a called strike on the outside corner. Raycroft in the 9-hole. Hit .310 this year. This one driven out to center field. TJ Gordon gliding to his left. He makes the grab, and the ball game is over. A 1-2-3 ninth for Jack Bunning and the Blue Jays. Hopkins wins 15-2. Tomorrow, the Blue Jays will take on Alvernia in the winner's bracket, a game scheduled to begin at 4:30. Lesley in the loser's bracket will take on RIT tomorrow morning here at Peoples Bank Park. Once again, winning pitcher Harrison Folk, losing pitcher Tom Muratori. Folks, we thank you for sticking around today for Game 2 of the 2017 Mid-Atlantic Regional Baseball Tournament. Once again, up next, Wheaton against Elizabethtown, 65 minutes from now. First pitch should be around 6 p.m.